Hey, this is AOC2022, and today we're doing Advent of Code 2022, day 25, full of hot air. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. Challenge, the 25th day is always kind of on the simpler side, but it's actually a nice twist to this one. I did already solve it last night, but I'm just going to do a video from scratch here. I think I can handle it even with a limited setup, I should say. I'm traveling, so I don't have my normal camera and microphone thing, so apologies if the quality is a little bit less than usual. But with that, let's take a look at the challenge. I'm going to have a list of, I'll say, numbers in this kind of interesting notation. And it's basically a kind of base 5, except it runs -2 to 2. So equal sign is -2, dash, the negative sign is -1, 0, 1, and 2. But other than that, it's just a base 5 type notation. So they gave us a lot of examples here. So here we have 1, 2, so 3 would be 5 minus 2, 4 would be 5 minus 1, 5, now we're going base 5 is there, etc. So the places are 1's place, 5 place, 25's place, 125's place, 625's place, etc. And so the challenge is just to read through my list of numbers here, sum them all up, and then convert it back to SNAFU, this new notation, to put it in. So let's give that a go. I've got an answer here. Let's go ahead and we're gonna close that and make a new one. So let's see here, file day 25 video.py, and we'll start with our shebang. Even though it's definitely not used in Windows. Let's see. So we can do with open sys. The script I usually run, Genday, does not work on Windows, so I'm going to just have to do it by hand. As f lines equals f.read lines. There we go. So we've got data. I guess we can say answer equals that and print, because also day 25 typically does not have a part 2. So we'll say answer. All right, we've kind of created our framework. So what do we want to do? We're going to need a function to convert ourselves from that SNAFU language back into decimal, so we can add them. We'll say from SNAFU string, and this one's going to be pretty simple, I think. What we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to do a loop. Right? So we're going to say I comma c, I guess, for I comma c in enumerate s enumerate. And what are we going to enumerate? We're going to enumerate s, but we're going to enumerate it backwards. And I'll show you why in a second. So what are we doing here? We're going to loop over the things backwards. We're going to start with the smallest, and we're going to go up. So the first digit, the ones place, what we'll have here is not I comma c. We'll say the power of 5 to the I. So in the first case, I will be 0, so it'll be 1 times. And now we need to find some. We need a way to sort of like store these values. So I'm going to just say vals equal to, and then we'll say that is going to be -2. The negative sign is going to be -1, or -1, and then we'll have like a 0. It's going to be 0, 1, it's going to be 1, and 2, it's going to be 2. So now what we can say is vals of C. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to loop over our string, starting with the lowest, starting on the right and going left. And we'll say, for the ones place, get the character, convert it to this, -2 through 2, and then multiply it by 5 times raised to the ith power. And then once we have all that, we'll just need to sum that up, and we can return that, and that probably does it for us. We can go ahead and save this. Let's just say answer equals sum line for line in lines, and we'll say to SNAFU. Oops, not to SNAFU, from SNAFU. So with that, when we run this, let's see, we go to day 25, Python day 25 video, and we'll leave the example input so we can check it. We get new lines. We better strip this. Guess we will list map string.strip on read lines. Basically, we're going to take each of our lines and we're going to apply the strip function to it and then put it back into a list. We get 4,890, and that is what we have here. So we got that. So now we convert that to 2 equals minus 1 equals 0, etc. So we're going to need a from SNAFU function. Def, or sorry, 2. I don't know why I can't keep the directions right. For a number. Now, for me, the only way I can think about this is to convert it to base 5 first. Because it's like a weird base 5. So we're going to start by converting it to base 5. So we'll say s equals, then we get a list. And then we can say while num, and this is just a really common way to convert something to a different base. It's say s dot append, and then we're going to append num mod 5. So basically, we're going to say if we divide it by 5, what do we have left? And that's going to be the ones place. And then we can do num divided by equals 5. So we're going to divide it by 5, take out 5, and then do this again. And we'll do that again as long as while exists. And what we're left with is s, which will be a array of different powers of 5. And so we can try that. We can say do SNAFU, run this, and now show our answer. Oops, we better return. Okay. Now when we run this, we get 124030. If we come back here, we see we get it. Is that in base? Yeah. Okay. So this is the lowest digit right here. This 0. Now we show it. That's the 0. Next one here is this minus 2, which we have as a 3, which is effectively what we're going to do is we're going to carry that. So that's actually right. And this would be, if we make this a 1 and this a minus 2, that becomes 5. And that becomes minus 2. So that is 3 between these two, if that makes sense. And we're going to do the same thing here to convert these. So we'll have to go a little further. So I think we effectively do have a base 5 number here. So how do we get this base 5 number to be a SNAFU number? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to say for I in range len s. So we're going to go loop through the numbers. And we're going to say we really want to do, let's see, so we want to start at this lowest one here, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's see if we want to think this through. We're going to say if s is greater than or equal to 3, then, not s sub I greater than or equal to 3, then we're going to say s sub I equal to, and then we're going to have to, we'll go up here and set up another, call this like back vals. And there's probably a simpler way to do this part, but we'll just keep ourselves consistent. So 3 going to go to -2 there. 4 going to go to -1. In case we run into like a 5, which we might with carrying, we'll that to, I guess we make it a 0 like that. We can go as far as we want. I doubt we're going to run into a 6, but we could do it. 6 would be a 1. I guess it's a 1 and a 0, not a string. Don't think it. We'll try that. Okay, so now we can say this is equal to back vals of s sub I, and s sub I plus 1 plus equals 1. So effectively what we're going to do is if this digit's too big, we're going to shrink it down and then increase the next digit. And that's basically it. If we run this, let's see. So now we have 0 equals 1 minus equals 2. That's what we have here. 0 equals 1 minus 2. So we just need to reverse it. I think reversed is what we can do for that. We can also do -1. Oops, and then we can do join. Or if we need to make it a list first. We better up here and do, I guess we'll do, I forget how I solved it originally, but we can do char of x for x. It's interesting because we made it, because we made it, I guess we can go here and make this a back valve. We can put in here, what really we need to do is, after this, we'll do s sub I equals char s sub I. Okay, I'll solve it for us. Integer is expected if is instance, and then we're going to pass in a s sub I, comma, int, and we'll just, I feel like I didn't go to that length when I was solving it originally. Now I'm kind of curious to know what I did do. Whoa, we get some smiley faces here. We want to think it's string. Char. There we go. There we go. We finally got the answer. Anyway, from there, we can also run the input text. And we get this long 2-10 equals, which is what we have here, ending in 1 minus 1 minus 22. So we get the end. So a neat little problem, simpler than a lot of the other days of late, but still kind of fun. I'm kind of curious to see what I had to do over here. I'm going to go back and cheat now. We'll see. Oh, I think I just mapped a string to it. So yeah, maybe that must have worked. I was using char instead of string, so that was probably the problem. Either way, that's it. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Advent of Code this year. Hopefully you learned something and had fun along the way. I certainly did. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video, and I will talk next time. Bye.